Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Throwback Thursdays. For this episode, I'm going to take a look at my one of two interviews that I did with Erin Murphy, Tabitha from Bewitched. I have to tell you, Erin is just a wonderful, wonderful woman. Anyone that has seen this interview or the other, you can just tell she has a generous spirit. She has a kindness about her. She has an energy about her. We've met many times at this point. We know each other. She has always been there for me and always been there for That's Classic. She co-hosted with me as well, the interview that I did with Anson Williams, as well as Kathy Garver from Family Affair. And, like I said, she's just always been there and she's been wonderful. In fact, we were supposed to do the very first and only, by the way, That's Classic live event that a restaurant in Los Angeles had reached out to me about, and we were going to do it, and I was going to talk with her. And ironically, the restaurant decided to close and open as a different type of restaurant, like literally a couple weeks before we were supposed to do it. So that never happened. But it's still like a thought in the back of my mind that would be fun to do. But anyway, Erin is, as I said, I met her through Bob Bergen, my early co-host and dear friend, who, as many of you know, is the voiceover guy behind Porky Pig and Tweety, amongst a million other characters. But Erin and I hit it off right away. Like I said, she was one of the first guests actually on the show as well. And she was open to it immediately. And she could not have been more helpful, not only in the answers that she gave and her energy, but also, she was like, if there's any way that I can support you, I'll be there. And she proved it. Like I said, she co-hosted with me. So anyway, I can't say enough about her. I think that she carries on the legacy of Bewitched so well. She takes it very personal. She realizes that she represents, the other actors, Agnes Moorehead, Elizabeth Montgomery, Dick York, Dick Sargent, Paul Lynde, goes on and on. And she realizes that, she is the face of the franchise, so to speak. And she carries that on with grace and just a lot of dignity. So anyway, it's been fun. As I said, we've seen each other socially a couple of times. I've seen her at different events. I saw her actually at an autograph show at one point too. And it's always great to catch up. She's just great. And you're going to love her in this episode. She answers all the fan questions that were sent in to me. And she loves it. She was just terrific with it. So enjoy this episode. And there will be more Throwback Thursdays as well. But enjoy this one. All right. Take care. Awesome. So today I have Erin Murphy, Tabitha from Bewitched, back on the show. It's today is just an awesome day because this is for the fans. This is all questions from the fans. I got to tell you, Erin, it was overwhelming, the response of just people wanting to see you come back on the podcast for the second time.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of love out there for you. Believe me. I can't tell you how many comments that came in, and they were really happy. So anyhow, we've got a bunch of different questions, and they're in no particular order. It's just kind of as it comes. So let's see where we go with this. All right. So let's start off with the first one. Did Elizabeth Montgomery or any of the other cast members keep in touch with you as you were growing up?
We stayed in touch through things like Christmas cards and stuff like that, but not in the way you would think. I was able to stay in touch years later as an adult with Dick Sargent and Bernard Fox and Casey Rogers and Sandy Gould, because we did appearances and things where, like, TV Land did a Bewitched statue, and we unveiled that in Salem, and personal appearances and talk shows and things like that. But Liz didn't really didn't really do that as much. So we stayed in touch because her kids are friends of mine, but it was almost, I think I've said it before, but it's almost like she's the parent of my friends. So we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. So, I mean, now you stay in touch with everybody on Facebook and you kind of see everybody's life. But
Yeah,
I mean, I was
exactly.
a little kid. I didn't know anybody's phone number and I didn't have a cell phone until I was really old. So
Yeah.
yeah, not so much.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. So would you on occasion though get like a phone call from them or anything like that? Any kind of check-in
Um,
through the years?
Gosh, I mean, lots of Christmas cards. I mean, Christmas cards were kind of the thing where, everybody would send a card and well wishes and stuff like that, but not so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's very interesting. And that was from Teresa. I did say that I'll say their name, so just so you know, that was from Teresa. So the next one, which and this is kind of an interesting one. This is
Okay.
from Lima, Peru, from Haiti. Uh,
Wow.
which is the first feeling or emotion that you feel when you remember? And the first one is Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh gosh. Happy. It's like a warm feeling. It's like no, I mean, I'm smiling just when you said her name. I was open-minded listening to what you were going to say, and just just happy. I mean, she was definitely a role model for me, and yeah, I loved her and admired her, and I thought she was beautiful and hilarious, and yeah, all good feelings.
Before we go on with the interview, I just wanted to remind you to please subscribe to That's Classic if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when my next episode is being released. Okay, let's go on with the interview. Awesome. The next person.
Funny. What if there's someone I hate? What if
I know.
Like,
You suddenly.
they're awful. Bad, dark feeling.
That'd be really funny. Your whole face just goes dark, and we're like, oh, okay.
Move on.
Okay. The next one was Agnes Moorehead.
I loved her. I loved her so much. And I mean, once again, all great feelings. I mean, I truly, I've said it a million times, so I don't want to sound like I'm a robot, but I loved her like a grandparent. I did. I remember just being around her and just feeling like she was my grandma. And I just loved her. I know she loved me, and just really, really all wonderful feelings about her. She was wonderful.
Okay, terrific. No, terrific. And then the last one she has down is Dick York.
Oh, good. I was hoping there was no one I really don't like, but I couldn't think of. I was like, who is he going to say? Dick York. Gosh, I have memories of him, obviously, from the show, but also after the show. And last time I talked to Dick York, I'd done a radio show out in LA, and I want to say that we did the show on Dick York's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So the DJs somehow had Dick York's phone number, which I didn't even have at that time. I think I was, early 20s. And so we called Dick York from the air. And so I was on the air on the radio, and I was so happy to leave a message that then they had to beep out my phone number. I said, call me back right away. And I gave my phone number. It's like, so happy birthday. It's because it went to his answering machine. And then he called and left a message once again before cell phones. He left a message before I even got home from the radio station. So I called him back right away, and we talked for like over an hour. And he was just so inspiring in a lot of ways, because it was when he was sick. It was just a few years before he passed away. Right. And he was talking about, he was on oxygen, and he was bedridden almost, but he was talking a lot about still giving back to the community and the importance of helping others, which has always resonated with me as well. So he was organizing to have mattresses donated to a homeless shelter.
Oh my gosh.
He's one of those people who really inspired that kind of philanthropic side of me, like giving back and volunteer work and community service. I got a lot of that from Dick York.
Oh, that's pretty cool. How old was he when he passed, by the way? Do you know?
I have no idea. You're going to have to Google that.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I was thinking that off the top of my head, just as you were saying.
Yeah, it was a weird time, because I want to say Dick York, Dick Sargent, and Liz all passed away within maybe 5 years of each other. So it was one of those where it all happened pretty quickly.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, that was kind of cool. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. Um, so,
Cool.
what was it like to work with Paul Lynde on Bewitched? This is from Amber.
Um, Paul Lynde was fun. Once again, there are lots of rumors that he didn't like kids. He was always nice to me. I always thought he was funny. Like I loved his voice. I thought he was just a funny guy. And the episodes that he was in were really, I thought they were kind of more fun. There was something kind of zany about
Oh
him. So
yeah.
I always liked when he was working. And I loved watching him on things after. Like I loved watching Hollywood Squares, and he did voices on different things. So I remember watching Charlotte's Web, and he and Agnes Moorehead did voices on that. So I always liked when he was working.
Oh, that's cool. Hi, everyone. It's John. I just wanted everyone to know about my That's Classic membership. See the join button in the corner of the video? Just click that. For $3.99 a month, you get a members-only live chat with me where we talk about classic television in depth. We talk about specific shows you might be interested in, suggestions. It is just a lot of fun. It's been a great collaboration with the members that are part of the program already. For that, you also get a shout-out with your name on my next episode, and you get my episodes released to you early before the general public. So hit the join button, become a member. Let's go back to the video. Did you, by the way, speaking of which, I just thought of this. Did you watch Bewitched on TV when you were on the show?
Bewitched was actually on past my bedtime. So I didn't watch it regularly, but I remember waking up sometimes and it seemed like it was the middle of the night and like walking out to get a drink of water or something. And my parents would be watching Bewitched. So I watched it then. And I've watched it obviously in reruns, but
of course.
I haven't seen every episode.
Oh,
It's so
wow.
weird because there's so many people who know more about the show than I do. And I know a lot about the show, but I have not seen all the episodes and I have not seen the black and white episodes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so yeah, they weren't on when I was a kid. It was mainly, the color ones that they ran. And
Yeah.
then by the time it was on Nick at Night and TV Land and things like that, I always felt like it was conceited kind of to watch yourself on TV. I know
Yeah.
it's not, no offense to others, but I
Right.
felt I didn't want to like sit down and watch myself and have someone walk in and like, oh, you're so full of yourself watching yourself on
Yeah.
TV.
I
So
could see it. Yeah. So when you were a kid, and you walked out, your parents are watching it. What is that? Because you were pretty young. I mean, what does that feel like to be watching yourself on this box, this TV?
it's so weird because I started when I was a baby. It all seems normal to me. It didn't seem
Wow.
weird that I was on TV. It didn't seem weird that everywhere we went, strangers knew who I was. It just seemed normal. So I'm always surprised if someone doesn't know me because you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everywhere I went from the time I was a baby, everyone knew who I was.
Wow. Wow.
So,
That is pretty wild that you can acclimate to that, like just in a natural way. Wow.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, here's our next one. This is from Simon. Did you ever get the script you mentioned bidding on eBay in the first That's Classic podcast?
Yeah. Thank you for asking, Simon. I've actually had a lot of people ask me that, and no, I didn't. It was so fun. If you guys didn't watch the first episode I did of this show, we found the script. I think Bob Bergen found it on eBay.
Mhm.
I immediately went to eBay to buy it. I did buy it. I did like the buy it now thing, and I bought it. And then the guy got back to me and I wrote a little note and I said, oh, where did you get this? I had lost all my scripts years ago. I said, where did you get this? Because it's mine. I'd love to buy more if you have more. And he wrote back a very nice note saying it had been listed in error, that it had already been sold. And so no, I didn't get it. But someone out there has all of my scripts and sold them as a lot where they sold all of them. And I wish
Wow.
I would have bought them. But if anyone out there has them, I'll buy them back from you. They're mine. I'd love to have them.
Hey, it's good to put it out there because it'll just, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to go, wait, I know somebody that does have one of
Yeah.
those.
The thing that was cool about that one, because I went to the listing on eBay, it actually had like notes. It had my dad's notes on the script, which
Oh,
was cool and
wow.
a lot. So I would
That's
love to have that.
that's so
Yeah.
cool.
It's all right. It's life. You kind of have to let things go.
Yeah. Well,
Those
hopefully it'll
might
come
come
back.
back.
All right, here we go. Here's another one. This is from Sue in Australia. Were your parents at all like Darren and Samantha?
Um, my parents were not at all like Darren and Samantha, not at all in any way I can think of. Nope, not at all. No, they weren't. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so I guess that was sort of like Samantha. But yeah, no, my mom didn't do magic. My dad didn't work in advertising. He was in finance and owned a business college. And it's funny because sometimes I'll meet somebody and they'll say that they work for an advertising agency, and I swear my first response is, oh my gosh, my dad is in advertising, but he's not. Only my
Oh, wow.
dad.
Oh my God, that's hysterical that it just is subliminally coming to you.
Yeah, but no,
Wow.
my parents are so completely different from the characters and also the actors, very different.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. This is coming in. Some people don't want their name, so that's okay. Would love to hear Erin speak a little bit more about Marion Lorne and Alice Ghostley, two of my favorite character actresses. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Alice Ghostley just had a birthday, I think, in the last week. She came on to be Esmeralda.
Hmm.
They had originally asked Alice Ghostley to be Gladys Kravitz. When they replaced the character of Gladys Kravitz with Sandra Gould, they'd offered the part to Alice Ghostley.
Really? I never knew that. Cool piece of
And
info.
she turned it down, but she loved the show, was happy to come on, and she didn't want a full-time part, but she wanted more of a guest part, which is what Esmeralda was. And she was fun to work with. And most of her scenes were with me because she was kind of my nanny on the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was fun. And she had a great career. I mean, after Bewitched, she went on and did Designing Women, and I think she was in Grease and a bunch of things.
Oh,
So
wow.
she was great. She was a lot of fun to be around.
Was
And
she similar on the set as she was,
well, no, but well, her character was kind of like insecure and nervous, disappear if she was afraid of something. So she wasn't like that, but yeah, she was great. She was fun. I loved everything about her.
Okay. And anything else
And then
about Marion?
and then Marion Lorne, it's written into the show that her character collected doorknobs, and she'd have like this big old carpet bag full
Oh,
of
right,
doorknobs.
right.
And they wrote that in because Marion actually collected doorknobs on her own. I mean, I had stamps and
Oh,
coins,
yeah.
but she collected doorknobs, and I got a couple of them. So yeah,
You
that
still
was,
have them?
yeah. Well, I sold one years ago. Years ago, I thought, oh, I'll do an auction. This will be fun. And now I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but I still have one.
Oh, that's good. At least you have one. That's
Yeah.
great. Did you, and same question, I guess, as before. What was your relationship with Marion like? Did it, did you feel like you had a bond with her,
Yeah. Oh,
or?
I absolutely did. And she was such a sweet lady, but I mean, she passed away obviously while we were
Yeah,
filming the show,
right.
but so I didn't see her after that.
Yeah. Did you understand at the time though, like, wow, she just passed away? Like, I mean, that's tough for a kid to kind of.
I guess I did. I mean, those things happen. So I mean, I don't really know what of that I comprehended, but I mean, those were the first people in my life that did pass. My grandparents were still alive.
Wow, wow. Okay, very cool, very cool. So kind of fun. Okay. Are you acting in anything presently that we can check out, or any kind of program?
Yeah. Actually, I've been focusing a lot on voiceover stuff. I may have talked about it before, but
A little bit, yeah.
during the pandemic, it was just one of those things where people were working from home, and I had some friends mention different voiceover jobs and asked if I'd be willing to set up a home booth, which I did. I don't know if you can see my dogs. My dogs are right there playing.
Oh, no, no, without a doubt. We can see them. I had to crack up. You were talking before the one went by, the other one went by, the cat came by along the.
You never know what's going on in the background. So it's like I'll be
That's
talking
horrible.
like everything's calm and there's total chaos behind me.
Right.
Part of being a mom, but
Yeah.
I don't even remember the question. Wait, what are you asking me?
It was, what are you acting
about
presently
working
in anything?
acting. So most of the things I've been doing just in the pandemic have been like podcasts and things like this, and also a lot of voiceover stuff. I'm doing looping, which is called looping ADR. It's background vocals on a major film starting on Monday, which I can't talk about, but it's about superheroes and it's a big one.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that. And my youngest son just graduated from high school just a few months ago. And I always said when my youngest was out of school, I would get back into entertainment more. So, I mean, I'm in the process. Can you hear the dog toy?
Yeah, only a little bit.
Sorry, guys. Yeah,
Hopefully
it's
the
real
fans
life.
love
You,
dogs. I
you
mean, that's
feel
all
like
I'm saying.
you're in my home with me. It's a great thing. But I'm about to do more things. So I have to wait until things open up a little bit more. I mean, the film that we're doing, we're in a sound. Here it's like squeak, squeak.
That's funny.
The film we're doing, the voiceover stuff, we're in. Hang on, I'm gonna grab a toy. You don't have to even pause. Okay. I took lamb chop away from my dog.
Oh my God. How ironic it's lamb chop. I love it.
And my next door neighbor, who I adore, I just adore her. Her sister was Sherry Lewis, who's the lamb chop.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
I got to throw in a quick lamb chop thing for you.
Okay.
This is pretty wild. Bob and I did an episode on Star Trek, and when I was I'm a big Trekkie. When I was researching it, I doubt you know this. This is wild. Apparently, she was too, Sherry Lewis, and she wrote an episode of Star Trek. Yeah, swear. I mean, I looked into that. I looked in, and I have yet to find where anyone's come back and said, "No, you're wrong." It's pretty wild.
You could look that up on IMDb, can't you? Although I'll ask Barbara next door, and then I'll tell you.
That would be cool. I would like to know that. Send me a text or something, because that one is just so intriguing about lamb chop. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Anyhow, that was a heck of a segue.
Okay, so wait, back to working. So since I'm doing voiceover stuff, this job I'm about to start on Monday is the first time we're in studio instead of being in our home booths. And so they have it where each person has to have, since COVID times, they have to have the mic set up for them in advance. We're not allowed to open the front door. Like they have such strong protocol that there's someone who will open the doors for us, that there are 2 actors per booth. I think there are 12 or 14 of us each day.
Wow.
We have a plexiglass thing between us. So things aren't really back to normal really yet.
No.
So once the world opens up a little more, I feel like it's time to probably get an agent, think about what I want to do in the business. I love working. I mean, so yeah, I'll be acting again.
Well, we want you acting. It's not just me. There's plenty of people out there that want you acting. So take that and run with that.
Haiti and Peru wants me acting.
Exactly. Okay. This is from John A. Can you tell us more about your relationship with Agnes Moorehead? I mean, you kind of mentioned earlier. Is there anything else you can give?
I already did. Oh, wow. I may have said it in my last interview with you. I'm not sure. I was really excited about taking fencing lessons from her, because she was an acting teacher, and we always talked about different things, like outside of our, of being on set. We talked about our lives, and she talked about how fencing was one of the foundations of acting, because it's the back and forth, and that most classic actors had fencing training. So she had told me that when I was older, she would teach me how to fence. So I never had the opportunity, because she passed away when I was still very young. But I always kind of kept that with me. And I thought I would love to learn how to fence, like the back and forth of it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because when you think about, I think most people that are Bewitched fans think of her at that time. But here's a woman that was going all the way back to what I want to say, the 40s, the 30s. I don't know what it was. Wow. But she was part of that whole, that time, and a major actress. So I could see that with the fencing. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's see. What are your memories about being in scenes with Marion Lorne? That was the other, I mean, obviously there is some interest there. Yeah.
And the next question will be, what did Marion Lorne have for breakfast?
Exactly.
I just remember I was a child, but thinking that she was very childlike. There was something about her that was so sweet. And I know the character is described as kind of bumbling, but yes. I didn't know that premise when I was a kid. I just remember, thinking that she was kind of childlike and sweet. And I always wanted to look into her bag to see if she brought different doorknobs that day. So there was kind of a doorknob theme to our relationship.
Were that, actually, I wonder, I mean, maybe you don't know, but the doorknob thing, did she bring them, were they actually her doorknobs that were in the show?
Not all of them, but some of them were, but she had thousands of doorknobs. Okay, I'm going to show you something, because I know you can hear the sound behind me. Wait.
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
I taught my dog to ring bells. I don't know if you can see him at the front door. I have.
Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Oh
He's
yeah.
coming back. Hi,
Here.
Halston. I taught him, he's still a puppy, but I taught him to ring the bells when he has to go to the bathroom. So he's over
Oh.
there like, he hits it once and I usually come right over. And he's back there like hitting it, like, hey, mom, let me out.
That's pretty phenomenal training, by the way. The
Yeah.
fact that he knows to do that. He literally had a look on his face coming back like, oh, whatever.
He's
He's
like,
like,
I'm gonna go make some more noise with my toys.
exactly. He's like, thanks for taking Sherry. Okay. So let's see here. What was your relationship like with Dick Sargent versus Dick York? While this is how it's written. While it appeared you had more warmth with York, I also read that Sargent was very kind to you as well. He just always acted moody and grouchy.
I don't think I had more warmth with Dick York than Dick Sargent. I think they played the character differently. Dick Sargent never came in and tried to imitate Dick York. So they just had very different takes on Darren, and they were, really different people. But no, I love Dick Sargent, and we did have a long relationship after the show because once again, we were going to events together and doing talk shows and things together. And he and I actually went to a couple meetings. Over the years, so many people have written Bewitched scripts. I don't know how to say this kindly, so I'll just say it truthfully. Most of them are pretty awful.
Yes.
So Dick Sargent and I went to a meeting. He's ringing the bells.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can hear it. I can hear it. Now, is he going to hold it? That's all we want to know.
We'll see. It'll be, you'll see if he does. But so Dick Sargent and I went to a meeting with some people who'd written should I take that off the door? Is it really loud?
No, it's fine. I think everybody gets it at this point. Don't worry about it. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, perfect. So Dick Sargent and I had gone to a meeting with one of the people who'd written a Bewitched script. And we had, there were other cast, Sandy Gould was there. We had other cast members there.
Oh, wow.
And it was a time where I was in my early 20s and I was kind of open to doing it. I thought, absolutely, if there's a good script, yes. So we'd signed letters of intent that we were interested, and we went to a presentation, and it was so terrible. I mean, it was just really bad. And Dick Sargent and I walked out after, and then we went and had something to eat, and we both said, I said, I'm not going to do it. And he said, I'm not going to do it either. So it was one of those awkward things where, we'd said we were interested, but it didn't go beyond that because it was really bad. And, there's no reason to do a show just to do a show. I mean, at that point, I'd said no to so many things. And, so far there hasn't been one that I would want to do. I know they're working on a Bewitched feature right now, and I've been talking to the writers, but it's not something where I would play Tabitha. But no, I appreciate that they've reached out and we're kind of in talks, and I'm giving them advice, which is kind of fun.
I think that's really cool. But I also hope that if they do one, they put you in it. I mean, whether you're Tabitha or not, you should.
I told them to write something for me, so we'll see. And you know what? There's an old Hollywood joke about the dumbest actor is the one who sleeps with the writer. So, because writers can't get you job. I mean, I'm not sleeping with the writers.
No, you're not.
But no, writers have absolutely no casting control whatsoever. But no, I threw it out there, and it's like, I'm happy to help, and I'm giving them advice. But write me something, and then we'll see if it happens.
I gotcha. So when you were there with Dick Sargent and you were watching it, was it presented to you in almost like a stage performance, or was it presented as like a table reading?
No, neither of those. It was presented that they'd done a little videotape kind of thing. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And there were people that they said, well, these people have to be in it. And they were friends of someone. And it just wasn't good. So it was kind of that they wanted to be part of Bewitched. So it was, not good. Over the years, there are people where, they might be big fans of the show and they love it so much that they feel like they're part of the family, but they're not part of the family. So if they try to show in it where their family, all their friends are in it too, it was not.
Okay, that's weird. That's really weird. Yeah. Red flag.
I was happy that Dick Sargent and I were absolutely on the same page. And I thought at the time, I mean, I was a young woman and they were older, the rest of the cast, they were older and they were happy about doing it, but I was happy I wasn't the only one who was going to say, I'm not doing this. So
right.
it worked
Right.
out.
That's cool. That's very interesting. So tell me this. In the first podcast, you mentioned there was that special episode. We had the kids the African American kids that came in and all of that. But I to be honest with you, I can't remember myself from the first podcast if that was your favorite episode. But the next question is, what was your favorite episode and why?
Um,
And what memories do
I
you have?
don't know if that was my favorite
Yeah.
episode. It was a good episode.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. I remember that. Yeah, we talked about it, but yeah.
Gosh, it's so weird because I have memories of filming certain ones that like, oh my gosh, that was the most fun to film, or that was, whatever.
Yeah.
But watching back, there's so many. Like I love the one where I turned a little girl named Amy into a butterfly when I went to preschool.
Oh, cool.
I liked all the episodes where I had more to do. The one where Agnes Moorehead made me ice skate really well was super fun to film because we went to Topanga Plaza where there's an ice skating rink, and I was taking ice skating lessons. That's why they wrote that script. But it was fun. Anytime we got out of our Screen Gem Sunset Gower studio was kind of more fun because we're on location and we're doing fun things. So I think of the ones that I really loved filming.
Oh, that's great. By the way, did Agnes Moorehead skate pretty well?
No, she didn't skate at all. She was like up in the stands, like twitching her nose. No, actually, she didn't even twitch her nose. I'm throwing lunch up. There you go.
Okay. That's funny. That's really funny that they had her there. Okay. Then there is, what was David White like? Was he like Larry Tate at all, or was he totally different?
In my memories, which are a child's memories.
Sure, of course.
He was exactly like Larry Tate. For me, I thought of him like he was my dad's boss. He was very much like that in between scenes. I'm sure he was, his own wonderful personality off set, but seeing him there, I just always looked to him like he was my dad's boss. Like he was always kind to me, but it's kind of like patting me on the head, and he treated me like my dad's boss would have treated me.
Was he one of the characters that when the show ended you did not see again, or
no? Only through I'm telling you, Christmas cards, because my parents, I'm assuming, had like the cast list, and we'd exchange cards and gifts for the run of the show, and that was kind of how we stayed in touch with people. But no, I didn't see him after the show.
Okay, all right, interesting. Let's see. Here's one. This is one that I don't know. This could be, they heard a rumor or whatever.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I had read that Dick York really had a crush on Elizabeth Montgomery, and that kind of freaked her out. And the person said, "Who knows?" Did you ever hear that rumor?
I did hear that rumor.
Oh.
I heard that rumor when I was an adult from Bill Asher.
Whoa.
So I would guess that there may have been some truth to that rumor. I mean, I know Dick York was married to his wife, Joey, forever. They had many children, but I have definitely heard that he had a crush on her. Yes.
Oh, how interesting. Wow, that is really wild.
I know. No, it's complete transparency and honesty. If I'd heard it from anyone besides Bill Asher or from Liz or from Dick York, I would discount it if it was just like an internet rumor, but I absolutely did hear that.
I wonder how that affected the show. That's so wild.
I don't know that it did, because I think they were both, Liz and Dick York were both kind of consummate professionals. And I think it may have actually helped the show because Darren loved Samantha. So maybe it played into that and led to some credibility about that. But I think it happens a lot. You hear a lot about lead actors and actresses falling in love while they're making a film, because there's a fine line. And if you're truly believable and really living that moment, I could see where it could happen.
Yeah, I could see that. Tell me this, here's another one. Who was most like their character in the show? If you had to pick one.
I know this one.
Oh, wow.
The person who was most like their character, Elizabeth Montgomery, was most like Serena.
Oh my gosh, that is hysterical.
I
had no idea. Really?
Yes.
Wow. Honestly, if I was sitting here in Vegas and they were like, put bets down on which, I never would have picked that. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Okay. And in what ways would you say that she was like,
In every single way. No, no,
wow.
she had kind of that little, like, she had fun with that character. She was, she was kind of funny and flirty and silly and a
Wow.
little zany, and yeah, she was like that character. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, as you say
I'm
that, I
going
mean,
to get so much grief from this, depending on who sees it, but I stand by that.
I don't know if you will, because it's funny. As we're talking, I'm thinking of her in interviews I've watched. And there is that little, I don't know, chutzpah. I don't know how to put it
It's
about her.
like a little twinkle in her eye. It's funny
Yeah.
because, I mean, people always think she was like Samantha, but no, because she wasn't a little homemaker. Like, she wasn't that character at all. I mean, obviously she didn't do magic, but she wasn't like Samantha. She was more like Serena.
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. All right. Who was opposite of their character, would you say, the most?
I'll say two.
Okay.
I would say Elizabeth Montgomery is opposite of Samantha. Just as she's like Serena, you know how Serena and Samantha are complete opposites?
Very.
I think Elizabeth and Samantha are kind of complete opposites. But I would also say Agnes Moorehead, because so many people over the years have asked me if I was afraid of her and if she was scary and intimidating, and she was so kind and wonderful, and I thought she was so beautiful. She was nothing like Endora.
Oh, is that interesting? Hey, did you ever, I had seen something recently. They showed Agnes Moorehead's home that, the last home that she was in. It was this incredibly, it was like out of a 1940s Hollywood movie home. I mean, it was like unreal. So you did see it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was beautiful, beautiful home. I didn't go to any of the huge, huge parties, but I went to her home a few times.
It must have seemed enormous to you. I mean, especially at that age.
It kind of, I would say it did and it didn't, because driving to work, I mean, we lived up in the hills off Beverly Glens. I mean, we had a nice house, but I mean, so I grew up driving through Beverly Hills up,
gorgeous area
studio. So it's like, I was used to driving by, we drive by Liz's house, and Agnes's house was on a cross street. So it's, when you see houses like that all the time, it didn't seem that extraordinary. I mean, I clearly it's based on being in that location and my very extraordinary upbringing, in entertainment. I could see if you grew up anywhere else, it would seem crazy, but if it's something you see every day, it doesn't seem that out of the ordinary.
Oh yeah. So wait, I find that really kind of funny. So you're heading to work and you're going past Liz's house, Agnes's house. Everybody's living that close to each other. I mean, that's funny.
Well, kind of. Yeah, everyone's like right in that thing, because we had to drive to Sunset Gower where we were filming. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty wild. Here we go. Did Elizabeth Montgomery know of Agnes Moorehead's deteriorating health when she decided not to do the show for the last 2 years as the network wanted? Since Agnes died in 1974.
No, I've heard that rumor online. Absolutely no truth to that whatsoever.
Okay. All right. So she did not. She was not.
You know what? I'm saying I read it online, that rumor. I think I read it in comments to our last podcast, but no, nothing about Agnes' health had anything to do with us not continuing on.
Yeah, some of these came out of there actually, because people are like, please, if you do the second one, you got to let me know. Okay.
It's interesting because people, if you read enough things, like someone could read an article in People magazine or in tabloid or like message boards and things, and they think they know the actual people. It's so interesting where I'll read comments and people are talking about, well, this person did this and that, and I'm not going to go into specifics.
No,
it's like,
I know.
you don't even know the people you're talking about. It's just bizarre.
That is kind of bizarre. Here's another one with the sets. Obviously it was broken up into different sets, the home. Did it feel like a home to you when you were a kid, like filming there in those moments?
No, because the set is nothing like a house. We're not filmed like in an interior. Sometimes when they do movies, they'll film in an actual house and just light an actual house. we were a set. So there were no ceilings. I mean, the ceiling is maybe 30 feet up in the air, and there are rafters and lights, and none of the rooms have four walls. There's always like an open wall, or sometimes even two open walls. So
Right.
no, it's nothing like a house.
Okay. Here in the first podcast, you talked about Bernard Fox. What was you mentioned your relationship? I believe it was that you had done a couple of I want to say autograph signings or fan convention, something with him, but you were with him. But they want to know did your relationship change from when you were on the show going into, adulthood?
Absolutely. It completely changed because when I was on the show, I mean, I was a small child. I was on the show up until I was almost 8 years old. And when I knew the people, especially Bernard, as an adult, I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s. And so no, I knew him as an adult. So, I mean, it completely changed. It was, it was more like I was his peer. Sometimes I felt like I was almost his caretaker, because there were times where we'd be traveling and no one was with him. So, I mean, I remember pushing him in a wheelchair to get to flights sometimes, and sitting by him and making sure protective of him and of Bill Asher as well. I always felt kind of protective of them. So
how interesting. How interesting. Did I just had one that came in as you said that. I know. I was curious about this. I meant to ask you this in the first podcast because I was thinking about the magic. And was it all just like, oh, well, that's just a crazy little thing that they did with a broom or whatever? Or was some of it kind of like intriguing for you as a kid to see like, how they pulled something off?
I obviously knew it wasn't magic because there's such a long process behind the scenes making like a really quick magic effect.
Yeah.
So I always saw the setup before I saw the payoff. And so it didn't seem magical to me. It just seemed like, it was interesting watching how they did it and then seeing how it turned out on TV. But I mean, I clearly knew it wasn't real magic.
And what was it like for you? As a kid to then, okay, so you leave the show and these actors go on and they're playing in different roles and things like that, and you're able to see them. What is that like for you? You're 8, 10, whatever. And you're watching these people that you worked with, and suddenly they're on this other show or this movie. What's that like for you?
It seemed normal to me because I was doing commercials and I was auditioning for things. So it seemed normal. I knew it was a job and that was a part, and it just was normal.
So when the show ended, and granted you're young, you're probably more resilient away from that, but was there any kind of a like, letdown, like a feeling of, oh wow, it's over?
A little bit. I mean, I had so much fun there, and it was such an important part of my life and such a kind of focus of a lot of my childhood. So it was weird when it ended, and I was sad just because I knew we were supposed to go on, and I was kind of excited to see what the future storylines would be for my character.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, there were good things and bad things. I loved that I could do more things with kids in the neighborhood and go to school and be in more activity type things. So there were definite positives, but I missed the day-to-day and I missed the people, and I loved it. I mean, I think I have such a strong work ethic because it was such a huge part of my life as a kid. It's like you have to do these things, and I loved it, so I missed it.
I got you. And we mentioned this in the first one about, possibly writing a book. I mean, technically, I think I am correct on this. You're the last living member of the cast. Am I right on that?
There were the twins who played Adam.
Well, yeah, right.
For the end of the show.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to them by that, but I feel like when people think of the show, that's not probably who they originally like kind of look.
Yeah. Some of the guest actors are still. Bernie Kopell is still alive, and he did a few episodes as kind of the apothecary and things.
Yeah,
but,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess it's fair to say I'm the main cast member still alive.
Yeah. Right. Do you feel because you do such a good job? I know I said this to you in the first podcast, but you do such a good job of not only representing the show, but kind of carrying on the mystique of the show that made it so special. Do you feel like you have like a responsibility?
Yes, I do. I do. And it's not even just because of my particular show, Bewitched. I do. I always feel like, because in doing things as an adult where I'll meet other actors from movies and TV shows and things, you always want them to be a certain way. You have your image of what they should be like and should look like and act like.
Yeah.
And there have been times when I first started doing personal appearances many years ago where people would disappoint me, where I would see actors not being nice to people who would come to see them and kind of not looking their best.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I feel lucky that I was on a great show that people love and still, have loved for over 55 years now.
Right.
So I have an obligation to, be nice to people about the show and answer questions about the show and say good things about it, because I don't know, I feel lucky to be part of it. So yeah,
Right.
a little bit of obligation in a good way.
I gotcha. This is also, it was on my thought process, I guess, in the first one. We were talking about so many things I couldn't remember, but I think it was Dick York was the one that had there was like a device there for him, right? Like for his back.
Yeah, they had a board that he would lean against.
Right. How, you're a child and here, you've got this guy, obviously he's going through this. What were you thinking? I mean, really, what was that?
It was just a part of who he was, that, he had a bad back. He was in pain, that leaning against that helped him feel better. It took some of the pressure off his spine. So I don't know. It was like anything. If they explain something to you, you understand it. So.
Right. I gotcha. Okay. Interesting. And did you, the other one that I was thinking of is when you were doing the magic, because you were doing magic yourself on the show. Was it fun? I mean, or was it just like, oh boy, here I go. I got it,
It was always fun. I loved doing the magic on the show. And I may have said it before, but I definitely always thought I looked forward to getting the script every week and going through and highlighting how many lines I had. And like, if it was an episode that I was in more, even as a very small child, I liked it. I liked working and saying more. I would hate getting an episode and like turning pages, because at the beginning it has the list of like all the actors and characters who are in it.
Of course.
It's like, okay, I'm in it. It's like, there's like 2 lines like, okay, mommy. And it's like, come on, Adam, or, that kind of thing. I didn't like those episodes as much because I grew up watching other shows of the day. Like my favorite show at the time was the Brady Bunch. And I remember thinking I would have loved to be on a show like Brady Bunch or Partridge Family, where it was more kid driven than adult driven, because Bewitched was always more an adult show. So I look at the episodes where I say, a couple sentences and I'm thinking, oh, but on Brady Bunch, Cindy gets to have a whole episode about her, her kitty carry-all doll.
Right. Did you, outside of just Bewitched, what other child stars were you kind of around or had experiences with at that time?
Oh gosh, back to ice skating. I took ice skating lessons with Eve Plum and Susan Olsen.
Sorry, that's just classic right there.
There were other kid actors of the day who were on Bewitched. Like Melissa Sue Anderson was on an episode where I went to elementary school. That was maybe her first job. She was an extra in the classroom. I didn't really hang out with that many kid actors because when I was on the show, I would hang out with kids in the neighborhood. So it's more as an adult, I have tons of kid actor friends. When I was a kid actor, I looked forward to auditions where I'd see everybody, or things like parades and stuff like that, where you would kind of see everybody. But I didn't hang out with that many kid actors until I was an adult.
Interesting. What was the Johnny Whitaker story that you had?
Johnny Whitaker did an episode of Bewitched about Jack and the Beanstalk, where where Jack comes, like I twitch myself into Jack and the Beanstalk and he comes and lives with my family and I go and meet the giant and all that. So Johnny Whitaker was on Bewitched while he was doing Family Affair. So I knew who he was. He obviously knew who I was. He's older. I think I was maybe 5 in that episode. He was maybe 10. But when he was there on set, and this was a very fun episode to film, while he was there on set, he invited me to lunch. And
oh my gosh, you and Johnny Whitaker.
Yes, yes. So we went to lunch at this restaurant right across from Sunset Gower. It's still there. It's not the same restaurant. And I ordered breaded veal cutlet, which was my favorite thing. I thought it was a classy thing and I ate it all the
You're
time.
5.
Yes. No, it's funny because I don't even think they make breaded veal cutlet anymore. But as a 5-year-old, it was my favorite meal. So we went to the
Oh my God.
restaurant and we had lunch. And at the end of lunch, he paid with a check. And I was so impressed that he had a checkbook at 10. And so he paid for lunch.
Oh my gosh, that is hysterical. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall watching that table. I mean,
Yeah,
come
no
on.
kidding. But
Wow.
he also taught me, this is the weirdest, this is where child memories are different than adult memories.
Yeah.
I remember something about that episode no one else would remember. And it's that we always had craft services, so food on the set for filming. There's always
Oh,
like a
sure.
table with food. So there were carrots there, which were my favorite. I loved carrots. And Johnny Whitaker told me that the center of the carrot, you know how a carrot has a core? He told me that the center of the carrot is the sweetest part. So what you're supposed to do is eat the outside first, then you have like the long center of the carrot.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then everyone went crazy when we were back. I said, why is Erin's face orange? So I was like, but I also, for the rest of my life, up until now, I still eat carrots like that.
Oh, is that funny? Oh, wow. Wow. That's classic. So yeah, any other, just curious. I mean, I think a lot of people are always curious about, like, because it feels every time that I've done any of these, it feels like the world of child actors kind of feels kind of small. I mean, within the that, you know, when you're all working and, you know, coming up together with auditions and all of that. Any other people that come to mind that were either on the show or that you were kind of, you know,
I mean,
crossing paths with?
there's so many. It's like, and it's more now. I mean, a lot of the voiceover work I do now, there are a lot of kid actors. I work with Matt Laberto a fair bit. He was
Mhm. Little
Oliver on
House.
Little House on the Prairie. And there's something about kid actors where we have an instant bond. It's this weird kind of unspeakable thing where we have such a shared history that no one else really understands, that we're
Uh-huh.
automatically friends. So whenever I go somewhere and I meet someone that I may be Facebook friends with another child actor, but not know them, the minute we meet in person, it's like we've known each other forever. So, I mean, I end up being friends with like the kids from Sound of Music
Wow.
oh gosh, One Day at a Time or whatever, because we have
Yeah.
such weird common experiences that you can't really explain to someone else. No one really gets it.
I got you. I got you. Do you, One Day at a Time, Glenn Scarpelli?
Yeah, Glenn Scarpelli.
Yeah.
Glenn Scarpelli, he and I have been Facebook friends for years, and we had never met in person. And we were just at an event recently, maybe a month ago, and we instantly, oh my gosh, hugged, felt like we were best friends, because it's just that weird history that you share.
Yeah, I get you. I've known, I haven't seen him in many years, but for a while there, we saw each other a fair amount. He's just a warm guy. I mean, period. You know, that's part of it. That's so interesting. So we kind of talked about this before, but what do you think it is? You know, you've kind of grounded yourself. You seem to be in a really good place. Obviously, we have other child actors that they go off the rails, or, you know, unfortunately, they literally, you know, die. Things happen. What do you think it is? What do you think it is that in all this, because you've had a lot of experience, you know, knowing them, and also yourself, what do you think it is that, you know, kind of keeps some on the right track and some just fall off?
I don't know. It's hard to describe, and I may have said it to you before. It's just
Go ahead.
I have a very strong sense of self. Like I know who I am. I know that I want to do different things and travel, and it's like I've always had goals and things that were important to me. And I think I look at it that I really was lucky to be on a show when I was a kid. I don't feel like because I was a kid actor, I should necessarily be taken care of for the rest of my life because of that. So I've always thought about, okay, what can I do next? And, you know, like looking for different jobs and different work and different things I'm interested in. I do think there are some child actors who think, well, I did something for a year when I was a little child, and that should support me forever. And that
Right.
they're somehow entitled to something else. Most people, if they work a few years at a job, they're not set for life. They need to get another job or do something else. So
Hmm.
I've never felt that I should sit back and do nothing. I always want my life to be interesting with work and, hobbies and friends and all that. So I think it's constantly, realizing that the advantages of being a kid actor. I mean, there are so many more advantages from my perspective than negatives. So yeah, I mean, I had, interesting experiences and went on auditions and did things that, other kids may not have, but it led to great things. And I've been able to travel the world, and, you're interviewing me because of something I did when I was a child. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see the positive. I'm definitely a glasses half full kind of girl.
I got you. And do you think that, I mean, it sounds like you had great parents. I mean, to have great parents. Do you think that that buys into part of it too? That sometimes,
I
that's,
don't.
no.
I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
No, it's funny because I grew up seeing all the, I know I've talked to you about this, but
Mhm.
I grew up saying the right things, like, okay, you're always polite, you're always, just basic manners.
Sure.
But I grew up being told that my mom, I'm so lucky that my mom wasn't a stage mom. So
Mhm.
my entire life I would say, oh no, I was lucky. My mom wasn't a stage mom. So I
Yeah.
had different experiences. My mom was totally a stage mom.
Oh,
Absolutely, without a doubt, just like most other stage moms.
yeah.
So yeah, it took me turning into a grown-up and thinking, well, wait a minute, I've been saying this my whole life, but it's really not true. So
Oh,
I think
interesting.
I own my life. Like any mistake I've made is not because of my upbringing. Anything good I've made, I've done, is because of decisions I've made. So I think, yes, my parents always made sure we had a nice house, but I was working when my mom was staying home. So
Yeah.
I supported our family for a while, and
Very
I'm
interesting.
fine with that, but I didn't grow up knowing that.
Yeah.
It took me being an adult to think, oh, wait a minute. My mom would frequently talk about sacrifices that she made to be a stay-at-home mom. And I remember being grateful for that.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I'm able to realize she was a stay-at-home mom, but I wasn't a stay-at-home kid. So
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
wasn't working and I was working. And I hold no ill will or bad
Of
feelings about
course
that.
not.
But as an adult, being realistic, I don't necessarily equate my success or failures in my life on my parents. I think success and failures for anyone is what you do, like what decisions you make.
How cool is that in a way to be able to hit that point in your life that you can kind of like look back on it and go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. I kind of see. Do your by the way, obviously you have your own kids, and do they what's it has it been in any way interesting from their standpoint, where they're like, "Oh, my mom is Tabitha from the show," or is it like the show is so far back that they're like, "Whatever."
Nope, it's one of those things where the show has been on forever. So there was never a time.
Literally.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were TV shows that were filmed when Bewitched was, that didn't make it to reruns. So
Right.
there are other TV shows that people aren't familiar with. Our show has never been off the air. So my kids' teachers and friends and
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
is familiar with the show. So I think they kind of got the best of things with my small amount of fame,
Uh-huh.
that we were able to do some fun things and, do travel, go to things like the Kid Choice Awards and things. And
Mhm.
I still
Yeah.
go to the gifting suites and get, like little things that I pass on to them. So I think famous enough to have the perks without the crazy fame where people bother us in public. I don't have that.
Yeah, maybe that maybe that's why like I said, you come across very, I don't know, certainly you know who you are and everything like that, but it's like that was well said. It's like you're between, like, I guess, fame and like ultra famous. You know what I mean? And
Well,
so that allows you to kind of
I'm
dip in both
yes,
worlds.
I'm just famous enough to get some of the perks,
Yeah,
and I'm not so famous that I can't do other jobs in entertainment because I'm not instantly recognizable, but I'm recognizable enough that people hiring me know me and love
sure.
things I've done in the past. And obviously people appreciate my work ethic and the fact that I'm truly nice to everyone I meet. I know it sounds crazy, but when I'm on set, I'm one of the first people, if not the first people there. I always know
Yeah.
my lines. I'm always nice to people. I always bring snacks to share. It
I
comes
love
down to
that part.
work. Yeah, no, I mean, for work, there are tons of people talented, far, far more talented than I could ever hope to be.
Hmm.
But they might be people that you don't want to be around all the time.
Right.
So there are people who, book jobs right and left, but then don't stay on a series forever. Like maybe they're written off after a year, maybe they don't get called back for something.
Right.
I've worked with the same people over and over again. Oh, literally over and over again, including
Yeah.
this podcast.
Right.
It's like we did a
Exactly.
podcast and had me on a co-host because I try to, bring something positive to the table.
What you do. And by the way, it has been awesome having you as co-host. I've loved it. We've had a great time, and there's more to come. But yes, without a doubt. Well, yeah, I guess that's about it. I mean, I can't even thank you enough for your time, and on behalf of the fans, obviously. I thank you. I'm sure we'll put this one out, and people say, "Wait, I had another question." You
Then
know,
we'll do episode 3. It's all right.
exactly. We don't. Hey, you never say never. That's it. That's true. But anyway, thanks a bunch, Erin. Yeah, I really appreciate you being on. I appreciate you being the co-host, and I appreciate you being a friend as well.
Thank you.
So,
You too.
all right. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed the interview. Please don't forget to hit the subscription button and also hit the notification bell right after that so that you get notified whenever I have a new episode. And be sure to check out some of my other interviews. Henry Winkler, Jerry Mathers, Angela Cartwright, Shelley Fabre. It goes on and on. They're so great. Enjoy.